They don't feel pressure, some feel pressure, and we see it. But under the bright lights in the Royal Arena, we will find out. So Copenhagen, raise that pressure!
Do or die. It's time, MOUZ. Enough of this playoffs crumble. Enough of playing the victim and falling to the old dogs. It is G2 Esports, written off by many, and yet here they are fighting on. Nothing they can do but play. Given the chance, given Vertigo now. MOUZ's map pick beginning on the T side, Brollan out to top middle. Started with a pistol for MOUZ in the first. Suddenly, it crumbled. Weird back and forth, letting G2 have that momentum, letting G2 have that initial lead.
By the way,
that is something you just can't give over to players like m0NESY, like Nico.
That's going to be this title of someone's documentary, okay, in this playoffs. Somehow it crumbled.
Again and again, if you are on the side of MOUZ, all too often.
I hate to admit it, but Vertigo's given some great mass at this major.
Yeah, that it happened.
This might be one more.
Shall we? Smoke into the elevator to cut off 3.
Oh.
m0NESY, okay. Unsilenced, salt in the wound. Taps away the couple that do try to emerge from top ramp. We said top ramp's gonna be important. Oh, Torzy, just the 2. All they're gonna get. G2 with another pistol.
Ooh, and this is the map where they actually sort of falter on pistols somewhat. A team that I think had the best pistols at the beginning of 2023. So a great start for them after a great first map. It all starts with great pistoling players, you know? When we talk about who has the best pistol rounds, well, look at like when ZywOo had the best pistol stats on the year. Like that makes the biggest difference. 1 or 2 kills in a position like this and the round is already over. And I think even though pistol rounds, as Sean Gare said, maybe they're not real CS, it still shows you who's nervous.
Sure.
And it shows you who's not.
And it still puts a 1 up on the top of the screen. G2 securing it. Desk had a lot to say about banana control versus ramp control and the similarities between Inferno and Vertigo for that reason. See if G2 can get their hooks into it. It's safe to say it was essential for that B start, for the momentum that they were able to pull forth on the T side of their own map pick. Nothing here to be proud of, MOUZ, working with bare bones of a buy.
You take down Donk one time and you think you're all that.
Yeah, it's really that, eh? Yeah. But again, playing above all expectations when that level of pressure isn't in front of them. But when you look up over your monitor and you see thousands of faces staring back at you.
It's you guys, by the way. You're the reason that the games are different here on stage.
We talk about the potential of young stars when it comes to Counter-Strike, but this is a team of young players with no experience in it, right? Not even that sprinkle of veterancy. So maybe that's the problem. Here comes the rush with just Glocks. They waited, and they think maybe they can take the site by storm. Yimfat will get the 1. All's good. G2 gonna convert. And another bead of sweat drops down Shuhei's brow.
I think the most shining review you could give of G2 in this situation is they have a really good connections in their CT players. When we talk about a B site that's very hard to hold alone, you'll have very good flashes, rotations from G2 to support their 1P player. That's going to be, I think, their strongest attribute. That it's sort of a map agnostic thing that they've got going for them, that they can really take advantage of extremely coordinated rotations without leaving too many gaps at the same time, right? They sort of draw that fine line between last year's heroic and today's phase.
So opening bout towards ramp, we get a good amount of util pressure. 2 sets of eyes peeking down. And it's going to be on Xerxon, I think, to really kind of puff his chest. When there's not numbers here for MOUZ, he's going to have to be larger than life. And it's always a tantalizing dance to spam through those ramp smokes. And all of a sudden, CTs come barreling down on you, and you've got a swarm of defenders to deal with. Right now, it's going to be Nexa under pressure. He keeps his head tucked. The mid player comes over. HooXi looking to join him. HooXi and Nexa, though, are these the pieces that you want in place to stop the attack of MOUZ?
Nothing will say more than the live round.
Big flank.
Here's
He's
your time.
already down the ramp, right? He's already attacking this because Xerxan had given over that control, given the space. Now we're starting to get that stack. Third CT into place. This is G2 being mobile, and MOUZ caught sleeping.
How much time do you have?
Nico and Nexa 3 kills like it's nothing. We get this late lurk out from top middle. Brollan could be the solution. Whoa, haphazard. m0NESY just jumps around. Hunter keeps his gun quiet, then reclaims the one.
But he knows, surely, that this is the bomb going back to the other side. Now, Torzy, he walked half the distance. CTs will join him late. Torzy, do you have a clutch in you?
Do you have that clutch with the AK? Smoke gets popped open. Hunter jumping up. Could go for the chance before the teammates are here. Oh, wait, Torzy. Oh! He had a second. Queued up, but Hunter, I like that he doesn't waste time.
No, he jumps. And that's the thing. Like, they're on the same page in terms of how fast and aggressive they want to play. And that's on CT sides again. Everyone's aggressive on T side. They're comfortable doing it on CT. Staying cohesive.
Found the MOUZ fan.
Nowhere to run.
Cyclone has been very liberal on taking these pauses early.
Yes.
Something across Inferno, and now again right out of the gate here on Vertigo.
Love to see that. I mean, the comeback was late towards the end of Inferno, but it was a real comeback. There were some good rounds in there. It was good individual moments from Jimpat. It was good shots from Torzy. It was good calls from Shuhei. You did have the ingredients to make that stew taste good.
You asked him to bring the pressure. Nico in the last round.
Oh, man.
The moment Xerxan left, you know, he did everything he was supposed to. He spammed his smokes, he walked away. He wasn't obvious with the departure.
That was a matter of sort of retraining something they already knew how to do. It took too long to get forward and execute that they already knew how to do.
Not taking time in this one. Very quickly up behind Tarp. Of course, shunned by utility as this is just pistols. Shuhei to lead it up on short, and Nico's gonna make quick work of that one. No chance with the lesser weapons. Flashbang comes around the corner. They're not going to catch any CTs out of position. There's just the right amount of hesitation here from G2. Very risk averse in placing these rifles forward. God forbid you give an M4 over to a member of MOUZ. So they'll stay tightly tethered. Only Nico kind of out on his own, but he too just inches this one back. Still enough smokes to put up the wall. Expect that next once the time comes. Minute on the clock, so there's still this uncertainty on the other parts of the map. The CTs throw out their own util, and in doing so, this is going to stall out MOUZ. We already saw them stalled one round prior.
Oh, they're on a quiet route towards the A side, watching their flank, and the CTs I don't think are too bothered by it. Layering their utility, spacing it out slightly, putting on little bits of pressure here and there.
Fourth player comes and joins them. That's Brollan with the second smoke. That wall is still inevitable. Flash goes out. Nico, disruptive.
You can't let the play be that obvious this late. They'll have to fight through the thick of it right now. CT's waiting.
2 rounds in a row. Hunter, gonna keep this one clean. Finding his form in CS2. m0NESY, missed shot, ×2.
Okay. Yeah, you can make up for it with the movement. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna praise. Hey man, he whiffed 3 shots, but he jiggled real nice.
Oh, so he's laughing. And you know what? I mean, I wouldn't say that m0NESY looks scarier than Torzy in the last map. Like, there were some moments where it was like, oh, he's a good spot. Gets a wall bang, close moments. And again, the movement always looks good. And I have no doubts about how clutch m0NESY can be. But Torzy was keeping up, we can say that. And what's great about that is m0NESY and Torzy, they were the ones going head-to-head in the Academy League.
Right.
It was the question of who is going to be better. Even you forgot, right? You casted them back then. People had to place bets. Was it m0NESY, who was flashy but also good, or was it Torzy, who was actually the good one? Now they're both here in a major playoffs, head-to-head.
Don't doubt his impact. Remember, Torzy was one of the first NXT players to get called up onto main MOUZ. Nico looking to shut it down. He will be a pressure point on this ramp, and they will chase. Now m0NESY locked in behind Sandbag with the smoke to work. Starts to drop his util just in case he's not long for this world.
Oh, yes.
Clean snapshot back. We said Torzy looked better on map 1. m0NESY off to the races, recovering from those missed shots in the round prior.
That's what you want. Full power m0NESY, full power Torzy.
Because the conversation was, if G2 were going to cause this upset, it felt like it would all come from m0NESY. Line them up. Hunter almost knocks both down, but it will fall on the shoulders of the young Swede in a 1v4, turn 3.
It feels like anything is possible for Brollan these days. looking for vindication since joining MOUZ. He's been doing nothing but winning, and he's been set up beautifully under Shuhei on this new international lineup. Brollan doesn't have the time to go back to the other side of the map. It's also the back door that's being shut behind him. But does he have a way to brawl his way into the site? Surely not. He's going to step on the trap wire and set this molly off as soon as he puts this smoke down.
Oh, good thing he's got the smoke, huh?
That's how that molly is, and he gets it off.
Interesting turn of events. Brollan will waste no time. Cautious about the flank. He is right. There is somebody there. And he takes him down with minimal damage. Nexa did not do enough to queue up a guaranteed clutch here for G2. Now that smoke could come back to haunt him. Monacy's got the kit. Brollan, that's 3 kills deep. And as he goes back down the ramp, the reload's in. Hooksy's calling his bluff. He goes around, and he's got it! It is never B-roll with Brollan. The highlight reel keeps rolling.
Oh, Brollan, you are vindicated, my friend. Shine bright on stage. A stage you rarely saw before today.
You thought you were going to defuse that bomb? You thought you were going to take that from underneath his nose.
That's a lovely moment from Brollan. Somebody we know, an overpass on the CT side can bail you out of an NT, getting 3-4 kills off of one and done position. That's the kind of spray control he has. It's not all the time that you get him in the late moments to show off his CS IQ.
To the wire. Wait,
what?
Look at the score.
Wait, what?
That's a defuse.
He got it?
Oh my.
What?
Well, it's not just MOUZ embarrassed on this stage. Holy hell. By the skin of his goddamn teeth. All right, snap back to reality.
Oh my God, within the last second. And Brollan goes down again. MOUZ do not need this right now.
Silently, they'll creep back towards B site again. Oh, what could have been? Failed boost.
Man.
They're starting to struggle, huh?
I thought he wasn't even close to pulling that off since Brollan ran up onto the site right away.
Hooksy was that much deeper though, right? You look back at Monacy, just an inch forward around the crane, dies.
Oh my God, 5 straight here for G2. And another perfect setup here. Standing behind the molly is Nexa.
My God, man, there's no opening here. This is domination map to map again.
Maybe we just wanted to believe it so bad, just so they would have a round. Oh my God. Hooksy 41.
Something, bro. They need a glimmer of hope, because this is a feeling that has become all too frequent. And not just losses, but now the nature of the rounds.
Oh man, that is uncomfortable here. He's got Cyclone Crouch behind them. Another perfect time to call the timeout. I don't think you can really waste them when you don't have any rounds now. It's his job to get them standing straight up. Right now, MOUZ are slumped over. Is G2O real?
At a major, no less,
Yeah.
right? The door left open, they sneak in. And no doubt making the most of it. So, guns back up. The tools are there for MOUZ. It's just the round wins that aren't. Damage, and Shuhei wants to pounce. We've seen this MAC-10 kind of catch G2 off guard. Activation out of G2, Nico takes a glance. honestly, G2 have been content to forego a little bit of ramp control because even when MOUZ get to Crane, even when they throw that util over, it's a test that G2 keep passing, the recovery of the A site.
Oh man, they got to win back so much space. And Nico, he's happy to keep peeing. I feel like they know in the back of their minds that he's standing here, shoulder peeking his angle with confidence. Sprays a little wild, some damage in.
Then he turns, that little distraction on Crane could be enough. Maybe, finally, something for MOUZ. It is numbers inside the bomb site, only on Orzi. Oh, down he goes, but the bomb is planted. At the very least, they've got that. G2 decide to concede it. This is the first for MOUZ, but the first of how many? Shades of Inferno again.
Wow. Sometimes all it takes is getting the door open. That's the one opportunity you need. Just shake off all the doubt that you had, that you can get back into this game. That Vertigo was a good pick. Again, a map that they beat Spirit on, and yeah, it feels like that's where we see FaZe take Spirit right at this point because they've seen them lose in that situation. But every map was difficult, and MOUZ showed a good veto to sort of set the stage, put in a lot of preparation. Imagine how much prep you would put in, knowing you're going to play against a team like Spirit this year, and then end up winning it. One of the most impressive BO3s that we saw was MOUZ winning that game. But again, it wasn't a stage match, and that's the difference. Vertigo just got that much harder.
It's just wild that the form they bring to the table is always enough to make you believe, right? They hit the ground running again here in Copenhagen, and you think this is surely the time. You know, Maniac's had enough of it back on the desk. How many times are we going to talk about this? How many times before it's safe to write off MOUZ? Chance to reclaim what's left of the half. Hell, walk away tied. You just got to keep it clean. And they did get that streak going in the first map. You've got to bank on that belief. Tap into it. But safe to say, Nico's giving them no room to breathe on this ramp, right? Constantly behind these smokes, constantly with numbers, and posting m0NESY on the gap too.
There's one team playing for info, peeking everything. That's G2.
Gets him off the angle at the very least. Xerxin climbing along the wall, but m0NESY missing chances, and so Xerxin able to pounce. You get a quick move from the elevator, gun goes empty. Hunter making the most of it, and he's got support from HooXi too. He wins his duel just like that, back into the even kill. Nexa picks one up, that's down towards B.
They're all getting a piece.
Brollan's got the response, but HooXi still has eyes on sight. He knows where Brollan's at. He gets out of the smoke, and that is 2 Ts to fall back onto short side.
He'll let them go, they'll reset. Quick readjustment here from Torji.
But then they take over the site and they do it quietly. And yet again, we've got a smoke on top of that bomb. Things could get weird. The Molotov they wanted does not have any impact. So Torji, a little spray through.
It's another situation where they could stick the bomb.
Looking for the damage, and Brollan, nightmares rolling in his mind. He is now the one inside of the smoke.
Not again.
HooXi's on top of it a second time.
Not
Brollan's
again.
knifing. He's knifing, and this time he's got it.
Woo.
Not twice. No way.
Oh, and with a little cash to splash on the side with the knife kill. Woo! Was it worth the jump in heart rate?
I think a little adrenaline could do MOUZ some good.
Now that's a classic Vertigo situation that we haven't seen in some time. Since you can break those smokes open, my God. All right, now, Brollan, you are vindicated. You got your rounds. Could have been 2, could have been an opening here earlier on in the half, but it's still an opening. Still a chance for 6.5. Look how broke G2 are.
Ooh, good flash. Should try and set up the Deeg, but Nico's not presented anything to bite down on. Brollan slips out through middle, catching HooXi off. So pistols start to fall, but the one M4 here for Nexa has found his victim. Nexa's doing a great job over towards that B site. We haven't seen it too often because the action's here on ramp, but picking up frags versus Jimpat now a couple of times, keeping him down at 2 and 8, keeping the hopes of a robbery here in round 9 alive. Sitting back on ramp, Torzy, 2 bullets in the magazine. It's going to be a critical reload at some point in what's left of this. Oh, Odyssey!
Takes one from behind.
Ducks down, pops up. And all the while, it is still a good amount of control here for Hunter, but he will be stopped. That Nexa M4 has been able to rotate over. m0NESY still pressing along these smokes. We get the climb up sight from Xerxin. He sees them both.
Okay.
They'll clear the board. MOUZ are yet again reclaiming a half.
Yeah, Brollan on your screen. Again, it isn't in vain this time. He gets the round, they get the follow-up. The anti-eco's closed up. Again, potential for 6 in the half. You never want to see a team have to come back into 2 games in a row. You know, if it is nerves or whatever, because the scoreline will catch up to you. Even if G2 get worse, atrophy as the game goes on, they can still win because they had such a good start. That's the benefit of what G2 have showed us, that they're ready for this match. Now, MOUZ have to fight a little harder. But we can see a glimpse of it. We see it's in there. And again, the round that ends on a knife kill ends up being another anti-eco off of that.
This time, finally, B-site's wide open. No Nexa to stop them. They send reinforcements for Yimfat's half of the map. Nice shot from Torzy, reminding us that, again, throughout the series, Op's been good.
Yeah, it'll be great to look back on his stats, his head-to-head with m0NESY after this.
Yeah, no pistol antics here for G2. They'll claim forklift and try to pressure Brollan. He's looking for the multi-spray down. All too easy for MOUZ. This half is truly alive now.
13-6, made up for it and more.
But that defuse will remain the one that got away. Luckily, it didn't put an end to his rampage, topping the boards, as he tends to since his inclusion on this MOUZ.
Losing Inferno made this veto interesting because it showed us that G2 are playing better than expectation. Overpass potentially up next, and MOUZ can bring this back, but they've got to bring it back first.
Oh, Shuhei
said, come over here.
Excellent coverage there. You can see m0NESY trying to power up for the shot. And Torzy in the pocket with vision over fire. But then that's Hunter to take his place, to try and creep in, and that AWP is not going to let you any closer.
Torzy on the T is for timing. He comes back and finds his way back in. Climbing to 11 frags so far. All impact.
Brollan given a chance as the lineup happens, but Nexa's there to recover something. 1 kill, all you get. You know, there's so many parallels that we could eventually draw between Shuhei and Kerrigan, right? His biggest inspiration, his idol, and his nemesis, all wrapped up into one. And what does Kerrigan do better than anybody? Keeps his team in it, brings them back.
Yeah.
With an abundance of comebacks in the history of FaZe for him to be proud of. It also took him a long time to figure things out, to get those wins over the line. Yeah. Well, Shuhei is in that realm right now.
Yeah, that's right. And stealing a major away from NiKo would be a good first step.
Hell yeah, it would.
Yeah, that's his aim right now.
But let's be real, as it stands, it's G2 stealing this potential semis from MOUZ instead. Final round of the half from G2. We're a long time since that streak of rounds off of the pistol win, since HooXi's defuse. Shuhei's gonna make sure that HooXi's dropped out of this one again. So yes, a reclaimed half if they can close this 5v4 and tie this up at 6.
If anything, you know, MOUZ are showing us that their ability to find timings to break open smokes are some of the best here in playoffs. Like, they're a team that obviously with Shuhei peaked at the end of CSGO all the way to the major final. But in CS2, they're playing CS2. They're playing it as a new game together. They're not resorting to old habits.
Oh,
wow.
Feels like Yimfat's been conditioned to be cautious on this approach. Him and Nexa, they've been duking it out 1v1 for the majority of the half.
Don't get one by slipping Jimmy.
Hunter will instead catch Shuhei. Great chance here for NiKo. He's been pretty reserved, standing back into the corner of short. This time goes a little wider, a little wilder, as he attempts to swing for sight 3v3, queued right back up. And Hunter on the MP9 in an attempt to press smoke soon enough. Final 30 seconds of the half.
Final good play here from the CT side has been made. Is it a matter of time?
They've gotten the footing into the site. They've got a smoke still to work with. CT's banking on the guns, and Monacy's just going to pick it up with the FAMAS. Incendiary onto the bomb plant. That should be canceled by the smoke, but Brollan goes deep, and G2 hang on to the bomb site. No tied half. One more sprinkled at the end to remind you of G2's form.
Yeah, love that. And G2, again, they win that pistol to start things out. Can they sustain another pistol loss, MOUZ? That's the question. We talked about how critical it could have been on Inferno, and there was basically no chance that they win it. G2 looked too sharp to open up halves, but you gotta say they need this one again. G2 let this lead go somewhat, but keeping it 7-5. I think it's still a dignified half. We have a top fragging Monacy, but not an indomitable one. Torzy is right there.
Critical territory now. Slightest chance to recollect yourself in the most important moment. It's not too often, never too often, that you get a chance at a major as a favorite.
It's all right, folks. It's getting a little exciting out here. So I think we're going to go to a short break and be right back when the game goes live.
Clowns.
For G2 Esports, they are coming into the playoffs here at the Copenhagen Major, but it certainly wasn't an easy run. We've got Nico and Hooksy here. Hooksy's already smiling before we even got started. You feeling good today, mate?
I was just smiling because you said it was not an easy road, and that's definitely true.
And Nico, you're smiling now, but at times during this whole tournament, even when you were winning, I was worried for your everything, because there's moments I'm like, G2 are winning? Oh shit, Nico still looks very unhappy. So what's going on inside your brain throughout all of this?
I was happy that we won, but I was like still under so much stress that I didn't even realize that we qualified. But yesterday when I woke up, I was so happy, feeling relieved, and
good.
Now like everything is fine, and I just can't wait to get the playoff started.
Yeah, and that's where we expect G2 to shine and perform for sure. Hooksy, for you, first time making playoffs since you've been in G2. The last time you were doing it was with Copenhagen Flames. Mm-hmm. What's that feeling like for you? Because obviously on paper, everyone would say he goes from Flames to G2. Yeah, that's easy. Playoffs all the time.
Yeah, kind of a milestone, even though a lot of people expect us to be here. I think if I had to pick one of the majors to make the playoffs, it would be this one as well. So I'm pleased in the end.
But obviously, I doubt you are happy with how this went for you, even though you did make it to playoffs.
Honestly, I don't care if it's 3-0 or 3-2. A lot of the time we were playing really well. Like I think we had leads in every game up to like 10 rounds or something like that, and then we have trouble closing out the games. Only a very few like halves where we had maybe a bad plan or we didn't play good as a team. It's a major, it's good teams. We are going up against good opponents. It's just like not a walk in the park.
And in terms of looking at this major bracket you've got in front of you, what do you think of it? I'll start with you, Hooksy, but just to get your both thoughts, because it's so stacked. We've got it's probably the best major bracket we've ever had.
Of course, we have to beat MOUZ, but then we have to cheer with everything we've got for Eternal Fire, so we don't have to play Na'Vi again.
One of the better players we have ever had in the majors, so definitely going to be exciting games. I probably would say that we kind of got a little bit easier of a bracket. I think the upper bracket with Spirit, FaZe and Vitality I think that one is a pretty tough one,
Yeah.
but for the team that make it through these, 2 games, they're going to be very confident going into the finals. So there's also a good part about that bracket.
And looking at what happens for both of you, and it's kind of in different ways, do you feel like some of the criticism you both receive is sometimes unfair that you get from the community? And does it bother you anymore? You've obviously gone for it, I think, a bit longer.
There's always something good about, you being criticized. That means that people are watching you, people, care about the team. I just learned how to deal with it. I think same goes for him. I think even like at events, he doesn't even have much time to read through all the criticisms.
It doesn't matter what results we're making, we're still getting criticism. I'm pretty certain I could win every event of the year with this team and still get criticized by at least, I don't know, 500 people or something like that. In between games, in between playoffs, I wish a day would be 30 hours instead of 24 because I'm pretty.
One thing I want to look at with Taz coming into the team, there's one quote I'm taking from here. He says about he's here to help with the rest after you guys believe in yourself, do what you need to do on the server. What is the rest that he's helping with right now? What extra is he able to give you?
First of all, he's bringing a lot of mood, an actual clown, half the time.
A clown in a good way.
And somehow he's a clown, but still maintains that authority that a coach should have.
The way I look at him, Nika, maybe you'll agree with it, I don't see him like some coaches you see as like a dad, but I see him more like a big brother. Would you agree? That's what I'm viewing when I see him with you guys.
Yeah, he definitely is very kind person. He wants to make jokes with you. He's just funny guy. If we played this major last year without him, I don't think we would have gotten through the stage, for example, because I think he helped us. The biggest change that I've seen in us since he came, and probably one of the most important ones as well, because that's probably what we have struggled sometimes. I'm confident that we're going to make a deep run. Very confident.
Now going for it, now knowing how close you could be to that trophy, what's the feeling?
A unique opportunity for me because when are we going to have a major in Denmark again? Just being on the stage in Denmark is already something off my bucket list. If we could go all the way and win the trophy, that would obviously be amazing.
We're going to see some Hooksy trying to bring the crowd on your side.
I don't even know if I'm scared after beating Ecstatic. But 3 Danes in 1 game, which is pretty unfortunate.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much, boys, and we'll see you in the arena.
Thank you.
MOUZ Sports are cruising on through to the Royal Arena here for the PGL Major Copenhagen. I got Shuhei and Yimfat with me here. First of all, how you guys doing?
Great. Feels good to be here.
Good as well. Really excited.
I'm sure you are excited. For you, highest rated player in the tournament at the moment. Okay, there's a bit of not so many maps played because you had quite an easy run. But you must be feeling pretty damn confident, mate, especially at your first major.
Yeah, I'm still feeling really confident, and I know we can win this tournament as long as we play good as a team. So.
And I like this. When I speak to all of the MOUZ players, you guys are aware that when it comes to the arena, it is different. I don't think it's fair to say you struggle on the arena because you've met FaZe both times with this roster, right? But you're still new to it. So is there something that sits in your mind on this?
I mean, we're all still very young, and going into the arena, playing in front of thousands of people is definitely a huge factor. Stress and pressure that comes in. Now that we have Zippix coming in, he's helping a little bit with that. Obviously, our sports psychologist also helps with dealing pressure in front of thousands of people. But we're still working every day to be a better team, so that day will come.
Is there some training you can do? Is there any way that you can really try and prepare for it?
There's a lot of things you could do. It's just you need to find the right thing that works for you. So maybe what was something that works for me wouldn't work for Jimmy. Our sports psychologist is bringing us ideas, some players are doing breathing exercises before the game, excluding all the factors that would be outside factors, so fans or anything like this.
There is some different things I do before the game. Example, Kamil mentioned the breathing.
Okay, so that's good for you.
Yeah, it's something what I do. The pressure goes away a little bit, kinda. I'm more focused and stuff like this. For me, it's really important to have a good sleep before the game day. If I sleep bad, I know it instantly at the morning, and I know that it will be a rough time.
Now, looking at recent form for you guys, 3-0 at the RMRs, 3-0 at the Elimination Stage as well. That's pretty damn impressive. But which stage was harder?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a specific stage that was tough for us. Each game is a battle.
You've had a lot of time off as well. And Jimmy, what have you been doing? How have you guys stayed good? How do you stay in the same form you've been in?
I mean, we have played some practice as well, but it's more just like having a good team bond and just having a good time together, have some fun time together and just troll around. And yeah, it works for us.
I'm glad you said troll around, because one thing, people may think it's just on social media when we see you, but to me, when I see you guys, you are always together. So is it just full team time for most of it?
Yeah, I think it's mostly like the full team, but of course they're like individual as well. Like we are really good with each other, like we are really good friends and we like to spend time together. So it goes kind of in both ways. I
wanted to get your thoughts, I'll start with you, Yumi, on just when you saw this playoff bracket and how stacked it is. Was there a bit of relief because the side of the bracket on? Did you guys care so much? What did you think?
I believe at least that you have to like beat every team in case you want to win the tournament. Like how we're playing right now is really we are playing really good and we really do have a chance to win this major, I believe. So I will just say that we are all pretty confident.
This is a good matchup for you in your current form, in your current shape?
It's one of the toughest playoffs actually brackets that we've had in a long time. Each game is going to be very tough. We cleared a few things up. We made a clear vision of how we want to continue, and I feel like with the additions of Zipix and Brollan, it has given us a lot of confidence and like a small new dynamic in the team that creates a little bit of freshness, as you like to call it, whenever you're a new roster. So we feel the most prepared and confident that we have ever been.
The most confident and prepared you've ever been. That's a key statement to have. I like what I'm hearing. For you, Yimvat, looking at the fact that it's your first major and you have a real chance to win this, what would that mean to you? What would that be like? Can you even begin to imagine?
Winning a major, it's been like a childhood dream basically. I remember I said to in Katowice, but my brother he made it to the final, but he didn't finish it, so I have a job to do still.
Has your brother said anything to you when you got this far? So has he sent you a message or something?
No, not really. But the thing is,
so Finnish.
not really, but he will come here actually. He will come to watch me. So
sick.
I want to make him proud.
Oh, definitely. That's lovely. For you, Shuhei, Paris, you were there, second place, right? You went through this whole journey. For you to go all the way here, is it like an extra thing of, okay, look, my consistency, my abilities in-game leader, how do you view it?
The way I look at it is I'm on a completely different journey now. And what I did with Gamer Legion, it stays there. Obviously, it was a great achievement. Now I'm with people that I basically started off my career with. Yeah. How I work here, how I developed here is different to what I've been in Gamer Legion. So now it's a different structure, different system, a different way to get to the final. And it's just a matter of figuring that out again. How do I get there and what do I need to do? How can I piece my pieces together in game? So I'm on a different journey now and I'm very excited for it.
I'm excited to see it all go down as well. Best of luck to you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. There was a small disruption, but the security staff and PGL have done their job. And all I want to do right now is focus on the Counter-Strike! And one thing I need from all of you and everyone at home is to stay positive, stay hype, and give everyone your energy. Are you ready to raise the roof? Royal Arena, it's Scotty and Lawler's time to take the mic. Make some noise!
Give it to him, James.
Goddamn right. Can't stop Counter-Strike.
Can't stop Counter-Strike. And here we are back into the match. Score 7-5. G2 in the lead right in the middle of the game. In case you missed it, it was a tight first half. G2 winning in the end. MOUZ clawing back somewhat. Torji looking good. But I think G2 winning with confidence. They've been doing good on pistols. This one might seal the deal in this series if they get another one. MOUZ have to fight this.
Can't be afraid now. Torzi slips down. Sudden pop, but Berettas.
Oh.
And those Berettas churn through a couple. Brollan with a helping hand falls back into the site. And so 2v4 is demanded here of G2. You said it, the uptick in pistols, something that's been going well for them. Well, reclaim the 2v4 on top, why don't you?
Was it both on Inferno? G2 won?
They won the second round of the map after MOUZ won pistol.
That's right.
That force buy that caught him. So, looking to split 2-2 in the series thus far. Util goes out, good clear of sandbags. Gush on the boost. That's an open door. That's Nico shaving one off before the push comes out. A little pry over top of the jump up, still cautious of what feels like an inevitable flank, but so far Xerxin keeps his head down.
They keep looking for it. They don't find them just yet, so he's got a good timing.
Good job of clearing out all the potential positions though, right? Sandbag, short side, all is here for G2. They've got a clear picture of what they have to do to get this one over the line, but they were right. Slowly but surely, that flank comes through. Xerxin plays his hand, Nico's dropped, and we've got MOUZ to respond with pistol.
Yeah, at least they made him work for it. G2 will be happy to get a plant in this situation, and the one thing that MOUZ have to prove, as you pointed out, is when they won their pistol on Inferno, it was immediately stolen back in round 2, opening the game. Sometimes it can do more to your mentality to lose the follow-up round, not just the pistol, so this is a good start, but they know a full buy is coming in. You love to see that energy from Torji.
No doubt, head of the game.
He was so on point when it came to the complexity match as well.
So good.
Yeah, tore through it.
You know, and at times he was the biggest question mark on the MOUZ lineup. Man, they were calling for his head. Right now, feeling like a win condition for MOUZ. Oopsie. Again, the SMG. G2, that's a second. That's another force buy that's starting to work out. And with a nade on sight, it'll soften them up nicely. Xerxin trying to clean them up. We get Hunter pressed into green. Deagle's right behind him. This Galil! It's a double kill! And it so falls on Torzi. Flash is fantastic, but nobody jumps on the moment. It's fine, they've got more to throw. They've got more pressure to chuck his way. He waits and hopes that Hunter oversteps, but they're lined up for the swing. They go wide, and a force buy out of G2 yet again.
Yeah, perfectly coordinated, and the hunt is officially on. Couple good kills in that first map. And now another strong moment. Pistols up for MOUZ. So despite the fact that they've won 2 pistols in these 2 maps, no conversions. This could be damning. They made almost no mistakes from versus complexity. It was complexity they forced to make all the errors. Who knew G2 were going to play this good?
Nice. Felt like he had some timing there as Hunter was playing with grenades. But all this forward move from MOUZ will be pulled apart fast move out from middle. G2, no hesitation on this split, and oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, all's good. You know, you start to question whether you can skip a single protocol, whether you think a moment is safe. Nico gonna make sure that the depths of this map stay in the hands of G2, that lead is secured off of the back of the force by G2, looking for early team momentum.
As if there was no gap in the action, G2 start off lightning quick, only headshots, minimal deaths here. No gun saved for MOUZ. Touching on 10 already, within what feels like 20 minutes of the map starting. Is this really it? After all that MOUZ have shown us, flying through the RMR, barely losing any games.
There's the duality to that statement though, right? All that MOUZ have shown us, well, they've shown us great things at the start of events, but they've also shown us time and time again these struggles in the playoffs.
Cato. That was the last time. Everything looked great.
Pressure.
Until their final match.
Pistols trying to throw something into the works from top mid, but again, anytime some slight advantage falls in the hands of MOUZ, there's a just as fast response. HooXi calling quick, and the pack of G2 players work their way up ramp. Again, it is just the vanilla pistols, that AK in the hands of Brollan, going for the boost, cut down, and Nico knows there's a second right there. He's not gonna give you a chance to catch your breath. He will not let you catch them off guard. This is G2 securing double digits early on in this T side. They will hunt each and every member of MOUZ down, and they will give them no space to breathe.
Man, it's seldom you see so many teams like stage their run so well and then look so good coming into big matches that they should win and suddenly fail almost, it seems like, exclusively because of the pressure. It's unbelievable what we saw in the Spirit match yesterday. It might be unbelievable what we're watching versus MOUZ with MOUZ right now. But I'm sure there's also a part of MOUZ that wish that they had been tested a bit more, right? I mean, flying through in RMR, flying through a legend stage, or a elimination stage, excuse me, it's always nice to do. You would never choose to play more harder games and almost not make it, but...
I believe you spoke to Cyclone once in the hotel. He said the same thing. He said, I wish my boys were pushed a little.
Yeah.
I wish that they were tested. And to be honest, in their opening best of ones, they were 11 rounds from a static, 11 rounds from Eternal Fire. It was that complexity smash that suddenly sent the uptick in confidence for MOUZ.
So here we stand, 4-round game. G2 on the precipice of winning their quarter.
Hunter very rapid on the chase. Brollan, oh, catching m0NESY. So it's Brollan's eyes down the ramp early on, now softened up to 40 health. His teammate towards B2.
Okay.
Him and Torji side by side here, looking to draw the line in the sand on the ramp. And HooXi's off, not enough to reclaim just yet. Guns out for MOUZ, and a 2K answer.
Yeah, that's an excellent start here. We saw this moment on Inferno. It led to some rounds back. It's less steep of a scoreline right now. G2 5v3. I think they have this in the bag. This has been a key position to play, to hold on the site, play in passive setups. G2 know they have the map to themselves. That is the basement. No push will come. What do we think? Can they secure a plant?
Well, they definitely crept close enough, that's no doubt. This boosted position, he's not reloaded this whole entire time. Torji's working with 8 bullets.
8 bullets, yeah, and they have no nades, actually.
It's not a lot, man. He's gonna have to get the first kill and hope that there's not a multi-frag that presents itself. HooXi softened up, Hunter comes in from the sidelines, and now with his hands busy, he's covered out by Nexa. They got close enough, a ton of space given over. Oh, G2.
This might be a mistake too many.
What do you have in store? Numbers have been evened out. Now more damage. Where's that even coming from? It's got to be spam from the back line. HooXi nails it. This is a 3v5.
An op on HooXi? a 3v5 they walk away from. They pick two passive positions to hold down that site to get one kill and keep the advantage alive. And Torzy is sitting up top with 8 bullets on not an op and no retake utility between either player there. Will they have a single flashbang? Not in a position to use it. I don't think Shuhei would have let that happen if he was sitting on the site. Man, what was the idea there? Obviously, Torzy, 8 bullets, sharpshooter gets a shot. But there was 40 seconds between when he got boosted up and when he first made contact with anybody. That's not a good sign. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. This is a round that started off 5v3. Perfect opening play down the ramp, lots of pressure. G2 with one play to make, no flanks coming in. But the bag is fumbled.
Catching Shuhei as he tried to walk up. You know, he was looking to take that deeper angle. That one smoke on the short side kind of pushes Shuhei into the waiting scope of HooXi. Ooh, missed shot. A lifeline here for MOUZ. Looking like they want to pressure down. And sure enough, Brollan keeps it clean to drop Nico. Op's not far off. Oh, what?
He tracks him down.
Shuhei tries to get frisky. m0NESY's down to dance. And with that, man advantage reclaimed. He sees a sliver of your head. Brollan's got to keep it crouched.
It's like one-way glass for him.
Little peek out from Brollan as he crawled out. m0NESY's not going to let him get away.
Whoa.
That wall bang's so damn close. It's as if he knows Torzy's going to be feeling that. And yet again, he's not working with the AWP. His second set of hands comes over from Xerxin, looking to be the help that's needed here on ramp.
They're actually just waiting for Act 2. Same exact approach, different timing.
But again, forego control of that ramp, allow for G2 to get close, and suddenly you've got bigger problems. An incendiary meant to disrupt them at 25, still enough time for them to try and overwhelm this site. It's Xerxin quick on that rotation, but just like that, G2 are gone. Now, Nex has got a choice. Does he come over mid as they arrive, or does he try to cut off the rotates that is indeed barreling back?
10
Xerxin
seconds.
Looking to come help Jimpat. Jimpat, oh, he's gonna cut down the first cross. There's Hunter running forward with the bomb.
He's got time.
Just in time to plant. Down it goes. And so Torzy has to somehow get this site rolling. A peek back from m0NESY, and G2 will give them no chance.
m0NESY was suffocating impact right there. 4 frags peppered in throughout that default on the A ramp, shutting down the pushes. Bringing forward a fight, a bright future here to G2. The tracking shot on the no-scope to Shuhei to kick things off, and it felt like that was going to be the one for fun. You got out of the round. No, he kept it going. He wants the final word in this head-to-head between him and Torzy.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good for m0NESY at the start. Torzy had the angle, but the one piece of G2 that the confidence never falls away from.
This could be it.
We get the peek out of HooXi on the ramp. Everything goes the way of G2. Inch by inch, frag by frag, they can feel it. The CT's presence and their chance to extend into the semifinals. Torzy.
What?
No way! m0NESY is ripping them apart. There is no heartbeat, there is no lifeline, there is no future here in Copenhagen for MOUZ. Yimvat dreamed of a chance to play to the finals like his brother before him. And with that SMG, 4 kills to his name, he is cut down.
Wow.
And just like that, they've managed. Divine intervention ushers them into the playoffs, and the soldiers of God march on.
It's a massive moment for G2 here in top 8.